Peace, 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 gods, peace, goddesses. Yo. In regards to those emergency response vehicles, man. You gotta know the way how they trained us to see that term emergency. You know, they hit us with the Matrix definition, which all got to do with a certain type of chaos is present, or effects of chaos has already transpired, and a certain unit need to get over there to try to bring calmness to the situation. When emergency just basically means an approaching of a certain business. So when you see the word emergency, just know that that is a compound word. Emerge, that should be self-explanatory. Emerge, to approach, rise up, encroach upon, things of that nature. Agency. Gency from agency. And the agency is a structuralized facility that's operating in commerce. So when you see the emergency vehicles, it's an agency that's emerging upon the scene. Because it's all about that paper, player. I mean, well, it's more than the paper, but that's why they rush into the scene. Because they got to get there, man. They got to get to the scene. The bells and the whistles. The flashing lights, the bells and the whistles is the sound of money. And it's letting you know that an agency is approaching. Whether it's an ambulance, that's an agency. Whether it's the cops, that's an agency. And the word copper, like a lot of the people would say that they call the cops copper because they used to wear badges that's made of copper, or they wear badges that's made of copper. Nah, because you gotta know that the word cop actually means to steal something and hurt. Self-explanatory. So when they say copper, it's sort of like a phrase that represents the raping of something. And rape doesn't necessarily mean that a man got to be, you know what I'm saying, raping a woman, or a woman got to be raping a man. Rape basically means someone taking something by force. So the cops take your property by force, they take your dignity by force, they take your license by force, they take your life by force. They take your money by force with all these tickets, all these threats. You know what I'm saying? So they call the copper because they are thieves. Cops are thieves. So I say it ain't no such thing as a good cop. All cops are a bunch of damn demons. It ain't no such thing as a good cop because they got to go through a certain series of... And matter of fact, in order to become a cop, you have to like score very low on the IQ test. They have to take like an IQ test. And if they score too high on the IQ test, they wouldn't make the cut. That's a fact. If cops score too high on an IQ test, they cannot join the force. So you have to score within the parameters of a dummy, a minion, someone who just there to just take orders, who can't really comprehend anything. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. So the term copper just basically means a thief. And you got to know that they operate in the realm of commerce, and commerce means sex. So when they say copper, they are raping on many different levels in regards to taking things by force, and they're doing it by way of the sex magic, feminized sex magic. Because money is a tool that represents sex. When you transact things, that's a sexual indication, sexual representation. You know what I mean? But yeah, so emergency, man. Just know that a corporation is emerging, and it's normally going to be an agency. Hold on for a second, man. Base anywhere on the client? So that's all the emergency means, man. It's not the Matrix definition, how they broke it down to us to make us think, well, oh, wow, it was emergency, so it's chaos. No, it's an agency that's emerging. That's all it is. And the type of agency that's emerging is described by the design of the vehicle, the colors and the logos. That'll let you know what agency the vehicle represents. For instance, the paramedics, they have a broken caboose. You know what I'm saying? Which is the original strand, DNA. Because you got to know, when you're looking at a DNA helix, you're looking at that helix, that is a symbol for a hybrid. A helix is a symbol for a hybrid because it has many different foreign DNA codes existing in it. You know, like that's a symbol that represents the humans. Straight up. When you see the humans sitting at the table productively, cooking food, using a knife and fork, that came from the gods. When you see them building cars, paving roads, making airplanes, that came from the gods. When you see them formulating sentences in a way that you can comprehend it, when they do it from an articulate perspective, that came from the gods. But when you see them killing each other for stepping on sneakers, raping each other, you know what I'm saying, fighting, and all this chaos, that's the animalistic consciousness that's just being expressed on a more sophisticated level. You know what I mean? Straight up. But yeah. So in other words, when you see the humans carry themselves in an orderly manner, that's a presence of the God genes that exists within them. But when you see them carrying themselves in this chaotic matter, you know what I'm saying, straight demon status, that's just animals, man. Just what it is, man. But yeah, the emergency, man. Just know that the term emergency just means that an agency is emerging upon the scene, and they got to get paid, man. Because, yo, man, commerce, you know, all crimes are commercial. Meaning that there is money behind everything. It's a business, man. The whole life is a business. Whole life. It is a business. This is a hell of a Truman Show. Watch that movie Truman Show with Jim Carrey. Check out that movie, The Truman Show. They drop science in that, man. They drop science in that movie. They show you how. I don't want to blow it for anybody that didn't see it, man, but go check it out, man. Truman Show, man. But yeah, man, just know that that, you know, we've been lied to, man. You know, they fed us these matrix definitions, man, instead of seeing things for what they are, meaning comprehending, man. Because they know what it is, man. And there's no such thing as a good cop. Can't be a good cop. A good cop would be someone who exercises logic.
Yeah, no one is outside?
Nah, no one outside. See, they give us this term that good's supposed to represent somebody who is considerate and caring and all this. They give us all these matrix definitions. You know, the egotistical, aka emotional definitions of what good is. Good ain't got nothing to do with that. Good have to do with carrying yourself on a God frequency. That's what good is. So when you're looking at these cops and they say that, well, there's good cops out here, it ain't no God. I mean, it ain't no cop carrying themselves on a God frequency. Because in order for you to carry yourself on a God frequency, you got to use rhyme and reason. You got to be logical. You got to be truthful. The cops, their whole life is a lie. Their whole life is a damn lie. So how they could be good? To be good is to be God. Straight up. That's why you see the word God and good. It ain't got nothing to do with emotions. Good has nothing to do with emotions. Nothing. That's the matrix definition they gave us. You know what I mean? Good got to do with being a God. So where are the good cops or where are the good cops or the God cops? They don't use rhyme and reason, rational thinking. They don't use logic. How you know that? Because they can't score high on the IQ test. If they score too high on the damn IQ test, man, you too smart. You're going to use too much logic out there. We can't have you thinking and analyzing the situation with a godlike mind. You know, we got to have you seeing things from a human perspective, from an animalistic mindset. You know, you get to boast and you get your daily steroid treatment when you go to Dunkin' Donuts. Because they put all chemicals up in there so they could, you know what I'm saying, feed that testosterone. Feed them parasites, all them sugar, all that sugar, feeding all them parasites. Cops vibrate off a lunar frequency. It ain't none of them God. They can't be gods. They got to be minions. In other words, they will have to like barely pass the IQ test. Straight up. So the hell with all that stuff they talking about good cops. There is no such thing as a good cop. Because those cops know that they deceiving the masses. They fully aware. But yeah. So just know what that term emergency means, man. It don't mean how they programmed us to see it, you know what I mean? A bunch of lies, man. They just yo, son, that's why I say this dimension right here, man, is a hell of a forged light, man. It's amazing, man. You know, it's amazing, man. It is what it is, man. You know, I was up in the underworld yesterday, man. Went to go see the lost gods. You know, they all out there thugging and doing all that crap. I had to drop some science on them, man. They over there talking about death, man. I'm like, yo, ain't no such thing as death, bro. What are you talking about, man? They had to start dropping the science on them, man. You know what I'm saying? When I started, matter of fact, we was talking about Earth first. I was like, yo, I said this planet is a sun. It is a low frequency sun. You know what I'm saying? So they all, it's like, when I said that, it's like they all started laughing. Like, yo, man, this guy crazy. What are you talking about, son? So you know they all laughing. Most people would get emotional. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a dualistic test that's being presented. Test for me and a test for them. So when I started breaking it down logically, like, yo, this planet right here, you know, is a hybrid, man. It was created. The sun's is real. Just started breaking it down like that, and you know, they always give me the jaw drop effect. I mean, putting them on about the minerals and all that, letting them know that they the soul inside the damn body, and y'all, you know what I'm saying, y'all veered off course. That's why y'all trapped in this underworld right now. So you gotta, and one of them had a damn crucifix on his neck. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, y'all gotta raise yourself up. Straight up. Put the message out there, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all about just pushing the frequency out there. Put it in the minds, put it in the heads of the people, man. Put it in the soul. Because there's a bunch of them that's fucked up in the game. Because, you know what I'm saying, they live their whole life with a matrix. They run in a matrix simulated mindset. Running a matrix simulated mindset. Like I put a post on Facebook, man. The matrix is a series of codes and voting is one of them. The matrix is a system that's a series of codes, and voting is one of them. Yes, voting is one of the codes. It's one of the programs that exist within the matrix. How you feel or how you assume that by you utilizing a program that was designed to sustain the matrix, you somehow operating under the illusion or operating under the quote unquote realization that you're going to somehow find some form of remedy or freedom. There is no freedom in the matrix. That's another program that exists within the matrix, making you think that you could get some kind of freedom. How the hell are you going to be free in hell? You would never be free in hell. Free means to leave this mother dudder. It don't mean to find some comfortable spot on earth. That's like a damn ant in a microwave. You know, the damn microwave is cooking the whole, the microwave cooking the whole damn scene, but the ant find a nice little cool spot and just ball up like a nap on the back of your neck. And just say, you know what, I'm just gonna chill here. You know what I'm saying? Because wherever else I go is burning up, man. So this is the nice little cool spot, so I'm gonna just stay here and don't move. That's exactly what y'all sound like. Freedom. There ain't no freedom on earth, man. Freedom is when you reconnect with God, carry yourself as a God, and get back in tune with that damn sun. Straight up. No freedom on no mate in no prison. That's another code, another program. These people up here voting for Hillary or Trump. It don't matter who the hell you vote for. They both got the same boss. These people don't realize that they are a president of a company. It's no different than you voting for a president of Best Buy. Who's going to benefit off that? Not you. Damn sure not the workers. You the workers. Damn sure not the workers. The only ones who's going to benefit from it is the ones who's in that immediate society. The esoteric. The esoteric occupants is the only ones who's going to benefit from that. But the exoteric, they ain't going to benefit a damn thing. Y'all ain't been benefiting, man. They hitting y'all with so many different programs of the Matrix, man. It's like, yeah. Y'all got to real, but then again, man, they got it so, it's like they deeply rewired people, man, to the degree. So, man, the only thing they could, man, they can't even process the damn Matrix. Because you already know they can't process the Matrix if they seeking refugees, if they seeking some form of refuge in the damn Matrix. The whole damn planet is a prison. It's an animal planet. As I stated before, when we were so-called ruling in what they call Africa or Egypt, we already fell. We was just expressing remnants of high intelligence. Because you know that when you placed in a high situation and you get excavated out, you don't immediately crash and burn. There's like a prolonged process that leads up to that, because you still have certain remnants that exist. Look at it like this. Say you hit the lottery. Not even the lottery. Say you had a job that was paying you $200,000 a year. You had that job for about 10 years. And you did some foul-ish with company sensitive material. And you got fired and blackballed. You couldn't get a job nowhere. Like they blackball you. So you had high savings. You know, you had a couple, say you had a couple mil saved up because you had, you know what I'm saying, certain investments and all that, and you reap benefits from all that. And say you had a couple mil saved up. So throughout the years, you might be living all right. You know what I'm saying? Because based upon how long you was working, you stacked up some cash. But as the years prolong, that money would keep diminishing. So it might look like you living good, but reality is you just burning slow. You burning out real slow because you got some nice little cash. So you know what I'm saying, you got still have you have the nice little house, the nice little car, you could dress good, you still eating good, but that reality is being diminished slowly. And then it will come a point in time when you're like, yo, you know what, man? I gotta sell my crib. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get rid of these cars, this jewelry. You know what I'm saying? I gotta start selling these paintings. Start selling these artifacts I got up in my house. Now everything is up for sale now. That's what it was in Egypt, man. We wasn't no high and mighty in Egypt, man. Because they're not talking about when we was ruling the whole planet. When we was ruling the entire planet. They only talking about when we had Africa on, or what they call Africa on smash, and we had certain quote unquote black people over the planet. We was all over the planet. That's all they said. We was all over the planet. We was over here, we was over there, building pyramids there, building pyramids. That don't mean a goddamn thing. The pyramid is just a symbol that represents power and slavery. And it was slowly being inverted because we disconnected from God. So therefore, when we disconnected from God, we still had traces of high intelligence. But that started slowly diminishing. Slowly diminishing. You know what I mean? Straight up. So just know, where I'm at. Let me see where I'm at real quick. Just know that yo man, we got work to do, baby. Straight up, man. I mean, y'all should already know this, man. The hell with finding refuge in the Matrix. The hell with the Matrix, period. The hell with the Matrix, period. It's all about the gods, man. You know what I mean? It's all about the gods, man. So when they talking about those pharaohs and queens and kings, whoever it was out there in those ancient days, they just basically talking about a race of gods that had already disconnected from God, and their power was diminishing slowly. You know that the powers was diminishing slowly if the damn humans is amongst the gods. That should give you a clear sign, because ain't no goddamn human can stand in the presence of God. God's vibrating too high. That alone should let you know that we was already, you know what I'm saying, on the verge or vibrating on the frequency of a human, for the mere fact they could stand next to us. Our energy was depleted. Ain't no human standing next to God when God is vibrating in that totality. When connected to that's the whole thing in regards to separating. That's why when the elites have these ceremonies or these meetings, they only have those who are vibrating on that frequency next to them. And it ain't got nothing to do with racism, because they know that if they bring in someone who is not mentally inclined with the group, they would serve as a jamming mechanism, and they would F up the whole frequency. But they would play the race card, and you know, they having their secret meetings, talking about this and talking about that. You know what I'm saying? They trying to take over the planet, and they foul, dropping bombs here, doing this. They telling you what you're gonna eat next year. You know what I'm saying? Playing the emotional card, when in actuality, they know that the people, the group that make up the elite, the body of the elites, they form a sigil. They form an energetic sigil. They have certain positions that these people must sit in. There's a certain construct that they build, and they form a sigil. When you see certain people in that group doing certain things, that is an alignment that's taking place. Okay, you're going to handle this task, you handle that task. It's not that these people are just randomly saying, well, you're going to handle this and you're going to handle that, you handle this. No, they are appointing the people based on the energy compatible, the compatibility within the energy. So they build in an energetic body. They build in a sigil. They make the bodies represent an energetic sigil. And the sigil is the frequency of gods. It's the language that gods speak. There's no corporate logos, man. No such thing as a corporate logo. It's a sigil. You know what I mean? So they form in the body. So they got to be separated. Because if energy interact with energy, energy has the potential to mimic the energy. And when we was ruling, you know what I'm saying? It was only us. Only the God race. It wasn't no humans or none of that, son. It was only us. They might show you certain movies where they would have the humans bringing you foods. Yo, son, that alone should let you know right there that we fell. How in the hell is a human going to be bringing you food? You know the type of distortion that's going to put into the food? You got a human making your... That's not even... it's not even supposed... And this ain't got nothing to do with race. This is all logic. It ain't got nothing to do with that, man. Because you got to know, even though it's high frequency foods, it's being charted by a low frequency being. And that low frequency energy is going to be amongst that food. That's why I say we already fell, man, when it was showing those times. We had people, and it wasn't like this Hollywood or this Matrix definition of this slavery when they got people in chains bringing you fruits. And then when they finish bringing you the fruits, they push them back down in the damn dungeon. No, it wasn't like that. It was a relationship. We was all allies. We had certain duties. It wasn't looked upon how they want you to see it from the ego. It was a relationship with the gods that we had, that we just did to help each other, period. You was there to help. It ain't got nothing to do with putting the boot on your neck. You'll pull yourself up by your own bootstrap type mentality. Nah, son, ain't nothing like that. Or they beating them, putting them in the dungeon. Next thing you know, they putting all types of chemicals up in your food and all that. Nah, man. We separated because we knew that if we included a low energetic being within the circle, that would be the weakest link in the chain. And that would cripple the entire body. You know what I mean? So when they're showing you the movies with the gods, and then they got these certain, like these rodents, you just call them what they are. These rodents coming up in there, giving them food and serving them and all this and all that. That's all fake, man. Because the reality is, man, ain't no low frequency being can stand next to a high frequency being. Real high frequency being. They even showed you that in the movie Frequency, son. This dude kept passing out every time he was around that damn girl in that movie Frequency. He all emotional. Because he low. Know what I mean? But yeah. These matrix definitions, man, be effing people heads up, man. You got people viewing things from a lunar. They got the pineal gland vibrating on the same frequency of the lunar, of the moon. That's why they show that's why they with the images of the pictures that they show you of a so-called calcified pineal gland, which ain't calcified at all. I already broke that down in past videos. If you had a calcified pineal gland, you would have an infection in your brain and you would die. Those images that they show you of a calcified pineal gland is the same damn color as the goddamn moon, showing you that it's vibrating on the frequency of the damn moon. But when your pineal gland is vibrating on a real frequency, it beams like the sun. That's why they show that quote unquote, well, I ain't gonna say quote unquote, that's why they show that corona around the false god Jesus' head. Because that was the power of the pineal gland was vibrating so damn bright that it was emitting outside his head. That would be what people call the mind. When you hear people talk about the mind, they're really talking about the pineal gland on full-fledged and it's vibrating so high that the light beams out of the head like the corona of the sun. That would be the etheric mind, because the pineal gland is the advanced mind. It is the solar mind, it's the fire mind, the etheric mind. It's the mind that could only be activated with high energy. The mind is the pineal gland, in other words. And I'm, talk about this word mind. It got the word men in it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just using that so people could understand the language, because that men is a deity of the moon. But the mind is really the pineal gland. When it's online, it emits out that hue, that it puts a corona around your head. So it was that symbol of Jesus. They was basically showing you a human pineal gland vibrating on the frequency of a god. And on the other note, they showed the God rays pineal gland vibrating on the frequency of the moon, your calcified pineal gland. The matrix. Tell you, man, 10-year conversation, man, breaking down this damn matrix, man. It's heavy, B. Heavy, bruh. But yeah, y'all already know what it is, man. I'm about to run up in here and get this motherfucking client. Emergency. Yo, bruh. They did a number on us, man. The hell with Egypt, the hell with Africa, the hell with ancient Kemet, the hell with all of that. Because that doesn't represent who we really are. That represents when we already fell. Straight up. That represents when we already fell, man. That's not even a good reference point to use. Good reference point to use would be the damn sun. When we was in our real bodies, first bodies, light bodies, then we came down into this dimension and manifested into the matter-based matter, but this biomatter. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about when we was on the sun in our soul state, and then we came down after we projected these soulless planets, because it ain't really no souls on these planets. These are all spirit planets. These are spirit worlds. Different spirit worlds. Earth is a spirit world. Mars is a spirit world. Jupiter is a spirit world. Saturn is a spirit world. Pluto is a spirit. All those planets in the soulless system, those are all different spirit worlds. There are many spirit worlds. And the moons that's assigned to those planets, they would give you an idea on how many different spirit worlds exist within that planet. So you gotta, so right here, Earth would be the spirit world. This condensed would be the spirit world, but then you got a sub-spirit world, because they got one moon. But then you got other planets that got 2, 3, 4 moons, 15 moons, 16 moons. So they got mass. Why you think they always doing so much rituals on Saturn? Saturn got hella spirit worlds, hella moons. You know what I mean? But let's talk about when we was on the sun, when we came down here in the light form, and then manifested in this biomatter to do work. But then we got all effed up in the goddamn game. But yo, I'm out of here, man.